Hey everyone! So it's Alex again, and I'm sorry that I always make my videos at night with the shittiest lighting ever, my bright fluorescent piece of shit light, and I always look like crap because I probably haven't showered the whole day, and I make these videos in some last-ditch effort to feel productive. Because today was very unproductive. It was a lazy Sunday. I woke up at like 10, and then I called my mom for an hour, and then I slept for another like 2 hours until 3, and then I did play Nancy Drew today, which is an American computer game, the only one I brought with me from the States, and I beat it. I was very happy. But yeah, today I kind of wanted to just like do a story time because I ramble a lot in my past two videos, and maybe I can say something more specific. So today I'm going to tell you about kind of a funny Izakaya experience I had recently. An Izakaya is like, I kind of thought it was just like a Japanese bar, but apparently Izakayas are also known as being gastronomical restaurants. People go to Izakaya not just for the alcohol, but for food. And so when I used to go to the gym, which is 2 minutes down the street from my apartment, I always passed by this place that on the front it had the kanji for osake on it, which means alcohol. So I knew this was a kind of bar type little shack, basically. Very small, but very, it seemed very Japanese, very typical, very authentic. And so me and another teacher from my school, whom I'm actually very close with, and she's kind of an ally to me, and we're very open with each other, and sometimes like she stays over. We decided to go to this bar together, and yeah, so it was really interesting because I kind of had this idea that it was going to be sort of a Japanese experience and it would be really cool, and I was going with a Japanese person, which was really great, and it was really great. So we walk into the bar, and it was like full of like rough like construction worker type Japanese men, like almost completely, and all of them like turn and like stare at us, like just look at these, like this white boy and this woman who have walked into this bar full of like Japanese men. And at that point, I was very nervous and I wanted to turn around and leave, kind of, but we both kind of just stood there awkwardly, and then the bartender kind of addressed us and told us where we could have a seat, which was actually right by the bar, like right in front of the bartender. Of course, me being white meant, oh, of course, this guy speaks English, which is not a false assumption in this case. And so one of the people at the bar, because there were two, what do you call it, like zashiki tables, like two tables with cushions on the floor, like a tatami floor, and then there was an actual bar. And there was an old man at the bar who was drunk and really, really rough, like very slurry Japanese. I already don't understand Japanese, and even worse when it's like an old slurry man. And he was really intrigued by me. Like immediately was like, oh, like wow, like an English speaker, and he was saying like, oh, like hello, my name is like Ken-chan. I think he said his name was Ken-chan. Thankfully, I got some translation from the woman I was with, the other teacher from my school, and some of the other people at the bar actually spoke some English. One of the teachers, like the guy next to me, was actually a teacher at a special needs school, and he spoke English like pretty fluently, actually. Like he very slowly revealed this fact to me. So slowly, as this drunk old man was like kind of babbling at me and asking me questions, which was great. I'm super happy that, my presence is interesting to them, and they're curious about me. And of course, I would be curious about a foreign person in my town if someone walked into a bar who was clearly from a different country. Of course, that's harder to pick out in America, but still. So I chatted with this old rugged dude, and he finally kind of stumbled out because he was pretty drunk. And the bartender was super nice, like not like outwardly friendly, but very kind of cat-like, where you can tell that he was sort of amused by the whole situation, and like gradually began to like kind of just leave plates of food in front of us. Like he brought us maki roll pieces, like four, which were really big, and we actually had eaten dinner like right before going to the bar, so we actually weren't that hungry. But we were getting all this food, and he brought like some fish for us, like in a vinegar sauce, and some fried pork, and it was delicious. And so, but he was like very like stern and quiet, and then kind of just like left a plate in front of us, and then walked away. And we were like, "Oh, is this for us?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's for you." And we were like, "Oh, thank you so much." And he was like, "No problem," and like walked away. And we got some drinks, and it was a very expensive bar, like a small glass of plum wine, which is really small, was like $6 or $5, like kind of pricey considering how much alcohol it was. But yeah, it was really pleasant. I guess not especially funny, but definitely an experience because I've been walking past this bar for, months and months since I moved here, and I finally plucked up the courage to venture inside and see what an authentic Japanese izakaya is really like. So that was nice. That was my Friday. Yesterday night, I actually went to eat dinner with at a coworker's house. So there are other language teachers at my school, and one of them is French, and she's quite a bit younger. She's like maybe in her late 20s, and because I speak French, I of course like tried to befriend her immediately, and I think she was pleased by this, so we became friends. And she's married, and her husband is the one who works here. She's part-time, and her husband is here on a full-time international placement for Michelin, like a tire company, and they have a son, a 1-year-old baby, so that was cute. So I went to their house, and they made they tried to make more like a French style meal, and we chatted and had fun. So it was good, but definitely a super lazy weekend. So I'm making this video in some effort to feel like, I don't know, like I'm adding something to the universe by existing. So I'm throwing this out into space. But yeah, definitely liked the Izakaya experience. I really recommend going to them. These are definitely high Japanese places though, like very low English places, which I was able to function fairly well. But like if my coworker hadn't been there, I probably still would have been able to like order something, but like my Japanese isn't good enough to have bar talk at all. Like I was very lost, because almost immediately I misunderstand enough of what the person says to me that I can't really answer adequately, and then it's kind of just awkward. And so hopefully I get past that phase. Yeah, so I guess I'm rambling now, but Alex went to this rugged Japanese bar, and of course, knowing me, like I really stand out in many ways, being being white, like in Japan, being foreign, being effeminate, like having a higher voice. And I've been getting a lot of comments lately on my voice and the way I act, like more than usual, which has like kind of been a little bit frustrating. Maybe that's a topic for a different video, but I don't know. I've learned to kind of love myself and the way I speak, and part of it is self-taught, but part of it is my personality. So I certainly don't feel the need to make any excuses for my way of speaking, but it does get me attention because even in Japan, people slowly start to pick up on the fact that I'm not sort of like hegemonically masculine. I'm not masculine according to what a society expects masculinity to be. So it's very interesting and fun for me to go to these kinds of places because they are generally spaces for like strong, stereotypical masculinity. And I don't fit that mold, but I'm proud of myself for doing it. So yes, this was another video from Alex, and I will try to post something next week. And I am super beautiful. Bye!